Closing thoughts. Back to the game preserve that we're on as captives of the state is the forced or mandatory compulsory education system that the state runs at the expense of taxpayers. And after having gone through the 12 years public school and another 4 years of college, I just look back on it as it was actually for me, it was other than the friends, I'll give you that. I had a lot of friends, made a lot of friends there, but it was just utterly boring for the most part. Some things were interesting, but the whole idea of having to answer to bells and be taught things that oftentimes you weren't at all interested in. It's really a brainwashing, frankly. I mean, indoctrination and some state worship, the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance and all that stuff. So you are turned into a kind of a mindless patriot and a worker. George Carlin had phrased it in such a way that they don't want you to be really capable of critical thinking, but just smart enough to run the machines and maybe fill out the paperwork and not to pursue your primary interest. Now, somehow I survived. I believe I did the best I could, and I broke free and became this entrepreneur farmer, and I really enjoyed it. It wasn't bad at all. But the other thing, so there's that. There's the government compulsory schooling that turns you into kind of a robot and patriotic at that and obedient. They ring the bell and everybody go outside. And then they ring the bell now and everybody goes inside. You just don't question it. You just do it. The authority figure is in your head, and you're oftentimes very patriotic, whether you're Republican or Democrat, doesn't matter. It's all the same. And then the other thing I found is fascinating how going through this has brought out character in people. It's really tested us. It's tested me. It's tested everybody. And you see, it makes you think. It really has made me think. What's the meaning of money and property? Things that you might have coveted at one time. They either become more dear and you want to bury them, keep them out of the reach. And at my age, I wonder, well, what the hell for? You're going to be buried yourself pretty soon. So that's been fascinating, and the way I've tackled it recently is like a kid. I'm thinking, gosh, this is fun. This is kind of like, the Matrix or something, maybe. How can I get through this? How can I avoid detection? And just enjoy the show from a safe position. So kind of like thinking about, well, get the food, get the property, get the RV or whatever. Treasure Island, how can I survive? Okay, I hope you can find a way to get through it and not be anxious. To me, one thing fundamental to my character is I've always taken care of myself. I mean, I've done a lot of crazy things and busted myself up and drank myself silly many times, and I was a partier, but I really pretty much ate well thanks to my mom and my dad. They were born dietitians, and so I've done that, and I hung out with other kids that were athletically inclined. And so sports was always important to me. I think that's very important. Don't, just take care of take care of yourself physically, keep your weight reasonable and get some exercise every day, fresh air and sunshine. So important. And socializing with other people, if possible. They've made it hard, but, it's so important for you mentally and physically take care of your body, take care of your mind, be positive as much as possible. Okay, that's that's the end of the lecture. Imparting wisdom.